The Taurus G2C comes in a box from Taurus Manufacturing. Does come with a lock. Does come with 2 magazines. These are 12-round magazines with a yellow follower. I like colored followers because you can immediately see in the chamber that your magazine's empty. And for all safety purposes, that's excellent. So 2 12-round magazines. This firearm has a manual safety. And this manual safety is fairly out of the way for concealed carry, but it's very easy to actuate with your thumb. So if the gun's on safety and you're during a draw, you're able to take it off safety real easy. The slide lock is just ahead of the safety. Also very easy to use. The magazine release, also small and out of the way, but really easy. The spring in there is excellent for jumping that magazine free for your reload. This gun has a loaded chamber indicator, which is up when a cartridge is in there. There's a little red mark on it that you can see. And then also part of the point of this is it's going to be tangible if you have to do a chamber check in the dark. The gun comes with an adjustable rear sight. This gun comes in about between the sizes of a Glock 19 and a Glock 26. This is a Glock 19 Gen 5. And it is just a little bit bigger. Looks like we've got about 3/4 of an inch of length, about the same height, and similar width. It's a little bit bigger than a Glock 26 in the grip, but slides are about the same length. And although they're about the same width, because the Glocks are blockier, they're going to feel thicker. So far as price, the High Point C9 is about the same size, but it's quite a bit thicker and quite a bit heavier in the hand. And it only has a single stack magazine compared to the double stack Taurus magazine. So this comes with a 12-round magazine. It's a double stack magazine in there. I feel like this gun just about threads the needle perfectly between small enough for concealed carry to be comfortable and big enough to shoot comfortably on the range. There are grooves here on both sides of the pistol. A good spot for a thumb and a good spot for a finger to be kept off the trigger if you're not actually shooting. On the other side, that actually works really well for my thumb in a shooting position to put some pressure on the slide there. On the frame there. It does have a rail up here for a light or a laser. This cut up here actually flares out as you get close to the chamber. If you prefer doing a press check from the front, that helps you grip that slide real well. And even though it's not serrations, it works. The price on this generally comes in around $200, plus or minus $20, which places it well below all of the Glocks. So while the price of the Taurus is in the same neighborhood as the High Point C9, it's more ergonomic. The materials seem to be higher quality. The trigger pull's better. There's a lot of benefits with the Taurus G2C that put it above the High Point. Nothing against the High Points, they perform very well. This handgun has an interesting trigger. It does have a trigger safety in there, so if there's pressure on the side of the trigger, it's not going to allow the trigger to be depressed. It has a fairly light trigger pull for this style of gun. But it also has the ability to have a restrike. So if the round doesn't go off, you can let the trigger forward and drop the firing pin again. You can do that as much as you like, which actually opens up a convenient option for laser training, which dry fire practice is very good. So you can drop a laser trainer in the chamber there, and then the firing pin actuates a laser that shows you where your bullet would be going. And let's see if I can show that on a good background here. So in your dry fire practice, you can do that on a target. You could do it virtually anywhere and be able to practice your dry fire trigger training in a safe manner, whereas most guns would require you to cock the slide each time to do your dry fire practice. So that's a cool option. The grip on the Taurus is a very aggressive stipple in these patches. So where that will be against your body or against your shirt, it's less abrasive, but up here where you're gripping it, it's actually quite comfortable and feels quite grippy and a good secure grip while shooting. The takedown is very similar to a Glock, with these levers here pulling down on this piece of metal that controls the slide. Good springs in there, barrel comes out for cleaning. Quite easy to disassemble, quite easy to reassemble. And that's the Taurus G2C. All right, so I've heard a lot of good about this gun, but I'd like to take it out on the range now with you, and we're gonna shoot a bunch through it and see how it performs. All right, today I'm going to be shooting Blazer Brass, made by CCI. These are 115 grain, full metal jacket, practice ammo. Okay, so this is a laser trainer, and I wanted to show what that would be like practicing on the range. So on a target like this, you'd be able to practice your dry fire practice, which helps you get an idea, especially if you can watch the laser move. If you're having issues with your trigger control, you can watch that laser move because of how you're pulling the trigger. If you're jerking or expecting recoil, you can watch the laser move, showing what you're doing wrong. All right, so we're going to be shooting at 21 feet here. All right, so the group here, a couple flyers that were my fault on the trigger press, but this group for this gun is very good at 21 feet. About as good as I shoot, so. The gun is at least outshooting me. Another good group there. I'm getting excited and shooting faster, so you can see my groups open up a little bit. But the gun's able to handle it. Haven't had a single misfire. Haven't had any jams or anything. So far, it's a blast. All right, so we've been shooting a little bit here. The grip is working out really well for me. I'm not feeling the gun move at all under recoil. I'm able to hold it really well. The trigger, I really like being able to have a short reset. And that trigger's working really well for me for being able to shoot accurately. And it's been comfortable. I haven't gotten any slide bite, even though I get a nice aggressive grip on here. It hasn't cut my hand at all, which I commonly get. In this shooting position, I'm able to take the firearm off safety or put it back on safety before I move it. And this gun is not moving at all as I shoot it. My hand is in the same grip it was when I started. You know, sometimes you'll see folks shoot and then they readjust their hand, and then they shoot and they readjust their hand and they shoot because the gun's sliding in their hand as they're shooting. And this is sticking right where it should be. Been shooting pretty quick on some of it, so these groups are very good for how fast I've been shooting. The gun is keeping up very well, no problems at all. Haven't had a single misfeed, haven't had any jams, haven't had any hiccups. The bullets are going right where I'm aiming. These flyers are a little high and low. As I'm doing the trigger press, I can tell I've moved the sights off a little bit. So these are all on me. If this gun was in a vise, it would be shooting a lot better than me. But I'm gonna keep going. So what we'll do is here's a magazine exchange. See how it works, see how I like it. Very good. Magazine comes out, goes in real easy. No problems at all with it. right, so this is our first 100 rounds through the Taurus G2C. It's running great. It's a joy to shoot. Come on down. We've got it here at the Ogden store to try. And I think you ought to try it yourself. In the price range of $200, there's not really another option that has these qualities and features. It's holding its own against $500, $600, $700 handguns, and surpasses all the handguns in the same price range. For folks with a budget that are looking to pick up a handgun at a reasonable price, we commonly recommend the Taurus G2C. I haven't seen one on a warranty return. It's a very good handgun, particularly for a $200 price. Something to keep in mind also, Taurus often has rebates for their pistols. Right now there's a rebate for $30, which takes the price tag well below $200. So check our rebate center when you're shopping for this. Easily the best budget option out there right now. As always, this handgun is available at impactguns.com. It's available at all of our stores. Here in the Ogden store, we've got it on the range to test and try yourself. Make sure you follow us on social media. Links are below in the description. Make sure you keep an eye on those because we're going to be having some gun giveaways coming up. And everybody likes free guns, right?